Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the Usyk versus Dubois breakdown video, as Alexander Usyk, the undefeated, reigning, and unified heavyweight champion of the world, defends all three of his belts against WBA regular champion Daniel Dubois of the United Kingdom. This fight takes place Saturday, August 26th, and it'll be on ESPN Plus from Poland. Now, before we get into that, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I try to build my channel up here. And if there's something you don't like, you could always give me a thumbs down, or, give me a thumbs down or leave a comment. I'm open to all of it. But let's get into this fight. Now, if you haven't seen any of my breakdown videos before, basically, I talk about the fight itself and what it means to the division, to boxing. Then we get into each fighter. And in a championship fight like this, we would obviously look at the champion first, and then we move over to the challenger. We will discuss the same stuff on both sides, what they've done rolling into the fight, and then ask the same amount of questions. And then the last couple things, I'll do the champion first, then the challenger, and then the last couple things will be, for instance, is it better for boxing if one or the other wins, and then my final prediction on the fight. These ones usually take a while because I fully break down these fighters. So let's start with this fight and what it means to the heavyweight division and to boxing. It's a big fight. Usyk holds 3 of the 4 belts. This is a mandatory fight. The fight with Fury fell through, so Usyk had to do something else, and only his mandatories were options for him. So the WBA, as they have tried to consolidate all their belts, they have a regular champion in Dubois here, and they want to get down to one true champion. So Usyk and Dubois will be colliding here in this fight because of it. Definitely 2 top 10 guys right here. So let's not discount Dubois in any kind of way. He's a heavy puncher. He's 19-1 with 18 knockouts. So he can bang. And he's only got the 1 defeat to Joe Joyce, who's also a top 10 guy. Usyk, former undisputed cruiserweight champ, current unified heavyweight champ, probably your number 2 heavyweight in the world right now. Holds 3 of the 4 belts and wants the Fury fight down the road. So a win here is, of course, it's big because Tyson Fury is staring the winner in the face. He is, for undisputed. And, both these guys are hungry and want this fight. So, gonna be good on August 26th. Now, let's start with the champion, Alexander Usyk, and break him down as we start with what has he done rolling into this fight. And normally, we go back to the last 3 calendar years or their last 3 fights, which kind of line up right here for Usyk. Usyk's last 3 fights date back to, I believe it was October of 2020, COVID year, when Usyk fought for only his 2nd time at heavyweight, and he took on his, his first real threat and consummate journeyman gatekeeper Derek Chisora, and former world title challenger. Chisora gave Usyk all he can handle. Usyk walked away with a unanimous decision, but there were a lot that doubted him following that victory and said he doesn't belong at heavyweight. Then he would return about 11 months later in September of 2021, and he would take on Anthony Joshua, challenging him for the unified heavyweight championship of the world with all 3 belts on the line. He came in a sizable underdog, but he went out there and cleanly outclassed Joshua to a convincing 12-round unanimous decision as he captured a championship in the 2nd weight class and captured 3 of the 4 heavyweight titles. He had an immediate rematch clause in the contract, though. Joshua invoked it, and The fight took a while. Finally, in August of last year, 2022, these two guys would lock horns in a rematch for the unified heavyweight title. Joshua would do better in the rematch, but Usyk clearly was the better man again. It went to the scorecards where it was scored a split decision in favor of Usyk, but he probably won this fight along the lines of a 115, 113 to 116 to 112, but clean decision. You know, there's nobody who's really disputing the winner of that fight. So Usyk, you know, he was supposed to fight Fury earlier in the year. That's why he's in about another year in between fights. COVID and failed fights have really set Usyk back here in terms of ring activity. But Usyk, even at 36, he trains hard, he trains solid, and he's very hungry to get Dubois out of the way so he can line up the Tyson Fury Undisputed Title Showdown. That's his goal here. He's coming in, you know, what does he need to do to win this fight against Dubois? Well, the only disadvantage physically is that Dubois is 2 inches taller. They have the same reach advantage. So what Usyk needs to do is just be that human calculator that he is, human computer, I should say, not calculator, technician, and break down Daniel Dubois in terms of just figure out what he's doing and go after him. I think a consistent body attack and perfectly timed shots can help Usyk break down the heavy-handed Dubois and get him out of there, you know, potentially. But he also needs to be wary of Dubois' power. Dubois can bang. He can hit hard. Got 18 knockouts and 19 wins. This guy is a chugger. And remember, his lone defeat to Joe Joyce, he was winning on 2 of the 3 cards when Joyce knocked him out. So Daniel Dubois really does not go down easily in defeat in the one time he went down. And, you know, he is a caged animal even when he gets hurt. But I believe Usyk needs to just perfectly time the shots, use his jab, and use the angles, box, but body attack. If he can wear down the body of Dubois, I think he might be able to get him out of there. Dubois' last 3 fights total about 8 rounds, between 7 and 8 rounds. He has not gone into the deep waters since the Joe Joyce fight where he was stopped. And he really didn't go into the deep waters consistently prior to that. That's why he has 18 knockouts in 19 fights. Usyk's goal should be to break him down, take him in deep waters, and drown him. That's what he needs to do to win the fight. Now, can Usyk win this fight by a knockout? I think he can. I think Usyk's perfectly timed shots, his counter shots, I think he could hurt Dubois, put him down, and end him just like that. I do. Or I think he can break him down and stop him. I do believe Usyk is capable of that. Can Usyk win by a decision? Absolutely. Usyk is all about piling up points. This guy rarely loses a round. He is a very, very good boxer, and he knows he's kind of undersized as a heavyweight a little bit, at least in terms of physically framed. So he knows piling up points is the key way and the key to victory here. You know, whether a knockout comes or not, Usyk knows how to do that. He can win by a decision. What does a win mean for Alexander Usyk? Well, a win would not be his biggest of his career, but it would be a good one. It'd be a big one. Dubois is a top 10 guy, but more importantly, it leads to potentially the biggest fight of his career, an undisputed title showdown with Tyson Fury. And Usyk is very hungry for that. He wants that fight badly. So a win means everything to Alexander Usyk. He definitely needs this one. What does a loss mean for Usyk? Well, besides the fact that it'd be a first loss of his career, it would derail the Fury fight. And depending on how he loses, it really would take the mystique away from Usyk of how good he really is, because we kind of have an idea of how good Dubois is. Maybe he's better than we thought. He's still young. He's 25. So maybe he's better than we all thought. But Usyk's a sizable favorite here. A loss would really hurt him. So let's switch it over to the challenger. Technically, he is the WBA regular champion, Daniel Dubois. Now, what has Dubois done rolling into this fight? Well, his last 3 fights date back to, I believe it's August of 2021. He took on some, God, I forget the guy's name, Kuswema or something, got a first round TKO over him. Then in last year, in June of last year, 2022, he got a golden opportunity against undefeated American Trevor Bryan for the WBA regular title. And he went out there and absolutely fucking blitzed Bryan, dominated him, stopping him in 4 rounds as he became the regular champion. Then in June, he would return, to make an initial defense against former cruiserweight contender Kevin Lerena. And he got a major scare. He got put down 3 times in the first round, badly hurt. The fight was almost stopped, but he rebounded, came back in the second round, found his legs, and then in the third round, he put Lerena down twice before the fight was waved off in the third round, as Dubois would retain his regular title with that victory. So now it's by fight night, it's going to be roughly 8.5 months or so since the Lerena fight. Dubois has been more active in the last 3 calendar years. I think he has 5 fights as opposed to Usyk's 3, but they have not been as big, and he also has not went the rounds that Usyk has went. Usyk's last 3 fights, last 3 calendar years, 36 rounds. Dubois is roughly around, I want to say if you date all the way back to around the same time frame, which goes back to the Joe Joyce fight, he's roughly around 20 rounds. So Dubois, not a guy that goes into the rounds late. But I still think Dubois is hungry as hell. He's only 25. He got caught by Lerena. He got hurt, weathered the storm. He's 4-0 since his lone defeat to Joe Joyce. And remember, he was winning that fight on 2 of the 3 cards before the time of the stoppage. So Dubois is not a guy that goes down easy. He's hungry. He wants this fight. He wants to upset the apple cart and show everybody that it's the time of the new blood. He's 11 years the junior of Usyk, so he has age on his side, and he has a 2-inch height advantage. Reach is exactly the same. Now, what does Daniel Dubois need to do to win this fight? He needs to, cut off the ring, impose his will and his size. He really does. But he needs to do that smartly by boxing and punching. He does not just need to go out there and wear himself out, because here's the thing. Usyk will perfectly time him, and he'll catch him, and he'll hurt him the way Lerena did, maybe worse, because Usyk's punches are so perfectly timed. So Dubois needs to be careful, man. He really does. He cannot afford to get caught, with something big early. He can't. And he also needs to wear down Usyk's body. I think a consistent body attack. If he gets Usyk close, I think he needs to throw a left to the body, maybe a right, maybe a hard jab to get himself in. Look at how well it worked for Crawford, throwing the jab to the body. I think if he does that, it gives him a chance to get in close and land the bigger shots. So, and he needs to use the 2-inch height advantage, though. He does. He needs to try to box and everything. So, and impose his will and his youth. So, and again, he needs to try to land a big power shot early, a couple of them, to see how Usyk takes it. Excuse me. Now, can Daniel Dubois win this fight by knockout? Obviously we've never seen Usyk really badly hurt, but with Dubois' power, yeah, I think he can win by knockout. I think maybe that's the only way he can win. I don't see him beating Usyk on a decision, so I'll answer that next question. Can he win a decision? I don't think so. If it goes to the scorecards, I think Usyk wins cleanly. But Dubois, and his ridiculous power, he has the ability to catch anybody at any moment and hurt him bad. So I think he can win by knockout. It's not going to be easy because Usyk is such a defensively sound fighter and just a genius in there. But you never know, and he is the bigger man in Dubois, so we'll see. Now, what does a win mean for Daniel Dubois? it'd be the biggest of his career. He'd capture 3 of the 4 belts, and he'd line himself up with a showdown with Tyson Fury for undisputed. It means everything. This is the biggest fight and would be the biggest win of his career. So a win is everything to Daniel Dubois. What does a loss mean to Dubois? It depends on how he loses. The thing is Dubois really has nothing to lose if you look at it. And the reason why is he's coming in a sizable underdog. Not a lot of people think he's going to win this fight. And he's still young. So even if Usyk, who's just so fucking smart and so good in there, even if Usyk beats the shit out of Daniel Dubois and breaks him down, Usyk's not going to be around forever, and Dubois has plenty of time to bounce back and jump right back into the mix. So I don't think a loss, even if he gets his ass beat, it hurts, of course, but I don't think it hurts as bad as some guys, facing the same kind of fate. I think he really is going into this fight with nothing to lose, and so that makes him more dangerous, in my opinion. Now, is it better for boxing if Alexander Usyk wins this fight or if Daniel Dubois wins this fight? Well, in my opinion, that's obvious. It's better for boxing if Usyk wins. Usyk is a former undisputed champ at cruiserweight. He is, he came up and upset the apple cart and dominated Anthony Joshua and then beat him cleanly in the rematch. This guy's a fantastic fighter. He is. And even though he doesn't pack that super attractive style like a Dubois does, Usyk is known and he's so technically good that everybody wants to see Usyk and Fury fight for undisputed. To see who wins that chess match right there. Dubois not well enough known. He's already tasted defeat. I don't think it's bad for boxing if Dubois wins, but it's definitely not as good for boxing if Dubois pulls off the upset here and beats Alexander Usyk. And now finally, what is my prediction on the unified heavyweight title fight between the undefeated champion Alexander Usyk and the regular champion and mandatory challenger Daniel Dubois of the United Kingdom? For me, Usyk is just too good. He knows what he's doing. He knows what's at stake. He's hungry for the Fury fight. And I really believe Daniel Dubois did himself a disservice in his last fight against Lorena, because that allure got taken away about how good he is in that fight, because he got caught with a guy, against a guy who was a career cruiserweight. He got caught against him, and he got put down and hurt badly. I think Usyk is going to use that game plan, perfectly time Daniel Dubois. But I think Dubois is going to be hungry and ready. But I think Usyk is just going to take him in there and just cleanly land shots, box, set shots up from different angles, break him down. And I think he stops Daniel Dubois in the middle to later rounds. I could see like a 9th, 10th round stoppage right here for Usyk. I think Usyk wants to stop Dubois to show the world that Tyson Fury has to fight him and he can't run. So that's what I think. I got Alexander Usyk by a knockout and retaining the unified heavyweight title. But Daniel Dubois, in my opinion, is a live underdog, and I think he is very dangerous with the punching power he possesses, and he is a decent boxer as well. So we'll see what happens. Saturday, August 26th. This is the Usyk versus Dubois breakdown video as they collide for the unified heavyweight championship of the world. Again, August 26th on ESPN+. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.